Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here. Today, checking out a pretty cool truck, a 2024 Toyota Tundra. Now this thing has been around for 23 years or so. It was first introduced by Toyota back in 2000, and in 2022, the current body style, the current design was unveiled. So Toyota for years has been trying to dethrone the Chevys, the Fords, the Rams, and while this truck still doesn't really do that, it does a lot of things really well. And today, we'll give you a full tour of this truck and give you an idea of what it does do well and what things maybe it does outpace the competition on. There are some new things for 2024. On the inside, a 12.3-inch center dash screen is now available and standard on the limited and above trims. You also have the option for a 3-inch factory lift kit that is available in every single trim except one, that's the TRD Pro, because that trim has its own lift kit as part of that trim. This one right here is the limited trim, the third highest level on 7 trim options. 7 trims total, starts out around $40,000 with the SR trim and climbs almost to $80,000 with the top tier Capstone trim. One thing that's kind of ridiculous to some truck buyers in the world of power and just overall torque and muscle, this does not come available anymore with a V8 engine. It is only a twin turbo V6. There are 3 different variations of that V6 tuned for different power depending on what you want, but no longer can you get a V8 in your Toyota Tundra. It is just a V6 game all around. So today I'll give you a full tour of the exterior of this truck, give you an idea of how many bed lengths and bed options you can have. Crew cab, smaller cab, big cab, whatever kind of cab you want. There are multiple options there as well. And also dive into the engine here and the specs. Give you an idea of what the towing capacity is. How does it stack up against Ford, Chevy, and Ram in that department? And also, what about the payload? Is it just as competitive or does it also fall short there? All of that just ahead. If you are new here to the channel, thank you so much for finding us. If you're a returning viewer, also a huge thanks to you. Be sure you are following the channel below by subscribing. Give this video a big thumbs up. Follow us over on Instagram as well at Overdrive Reviews. All right, as I say, not another word from me. Let's hop into this 2024 beautiful Toyota Tundra limited truck. Let's go. Before we get going though, a huge shout out once again to my friends at Cramer's Middletown here in Middletown, Pennsylvania. They lend me their beautiful cars all the time. This 2024 Tundra is from them. They've got a rental division, a sales division, all kinds of options, EVs, big trucks like this, SUVs, sedans, sports cars, anything you need, want. You can do a short-term lease, you can do a long-term rental, you can do sales, you can do short-term rentals, anything you want to do. They've got the car and the vehicle for you. Check them out at the information below here on the screen, as well as more information down below in the description. They are fantastic to deal with. Cannot say enough good things about my friends over at Cramer's Middletown. All right, now for real, let's go. Okay, so dissecting the exterior of this monster truck, look at the front of this. Love the way it looks with the Nightshade package added in. Those big LED lights, those fog lights down below, especially on a dreary, weary, wet day like this here in central Pennsylvania, it actually looks pretty intimidating out on the road. So that Nightshade package I mentioned is now available this year for the first time on the limited trim. And that basically adds a blacked out grille, the blacked out wheels you see here on the side of the truck, along with some other blacked out options. Really aesthetic based, doesn't really change much else, but a beautiful package if you feel like spending the extra money for it. To me, I think it's worth it. Okay, back here to the front, you've got this huge grille for you, integrated parking sensors built in there down at the bottom, and I love these center located fog lights. They're really bright, and especially right now with a little bit of drizzle coming down, they look really cool. A huge hood. I mean, this thing is standing right about my waist. It is massively tall compared to, you know, a Frontier or a Maverick or something smaller like that. Of course, a big windshield as well. You've got some front crash mitigation and pedestrian detection type stuff built right into the windshield there. And you also do have, I missed it before, a little camera there in the front for the 360 view. Let's back up and go to the side profile here. This is a long truck, and this actually doesn't even have the longest bed available. There are multiple beds that you can choose from, as well as multiple cab lengths that you can choose from as well. Let's go over those real quick while we're talking about it. So the double cab is available with either a 6.5 foot bed or an 8.1 foot bed. That is just huge. The crew cab, aka the Crew Max in Toyota speak, is offered with either a 5 5.5 foot bed or a 6.5 foot bed. So, you know, different crew cab sizes depending on what you want, along with the bed of your choosing, all the way from 5.5 foot to 8.1 foot bed length. So back here, this one, of course, is lined and really, really nice. There's no cover on this one, which I feel like maybe it came with, and it's just not on this test one, so maybe no one steals it or something like that. But a beautiful bed here, and also the back opens very, very easily. I think the truck is unlocked. Let's pop it open here. Yeah. Soft opening for you so it doesn't slam down and create crazy noises. And you see all the dome lights, all the bed lights came on as soon as I did that. And you do have different auxiliary things back here as well. You've got your normal household outlet for you, and it's really easy to also push right back up. So push right back up, lock right in place. Of course, you got your rear view camera there as well. A little light to make sure you can see what you're doing. All the normal stuff back here for a truck. What's not normal though, speaking about 4x4, since you see it right there, is that there is no full-time four-wheel drive available on this. All these trucks are rear-wheel drive, and obviously you can put it in to four-wheel drive mode, but there's no full-time four-wheel drive offered, I guess is the word. I'm not sure why Toyota chose not to do that, but it definitely is a point of contention for some truck buyers. Let's go back to the aesthetics and the outside here. Your blacked out side mirror covers here with integrated turn signal as well, along with, again, a camera built here into the bottom of this one, along with the passenger side as well. And part of that Nightshade package, again, is just all this black badging, which with all the little raindrops today looks really, really cool for the Tundra. Down here you do have built-in running boards. These are not power automatic here on the limited trim. You can have power ones on a higher trim option, but again, you got to upgrade to that. And there is no option for like the tap to unlock or lock, whatever, the door on this limited trim. I'm not sure why that isn't an option. To me, it should be, but it is not. I imagine it is available on the higher trims as well. But a handsome, beefy, brawny vehicle, in my opinion, especially from the side, when you can see the depth and the width and the length of this thing all in one big shot, and you can see this big muffler back here, this exhaust. This thing sounds so cool. It is just a beautiful sound. Let's talk about these tires here. These are 20-inch wheels. Again, they're the blacked out ones because of the Nightshade package. Four-wheel disc brakes all the way around, obviously. These wheels are 265/60 R20s. I believe they are Bridgestone. You can see it right there, big and chunky, lots of tread because this car has 117 miles on it, I think. But I love this blacked out look. You can actually upgrade to 22-inch rims if you opt for the Capstone, that top tier trim. 22-inch chrome wheels, insanely big, really feels out that wheel well. But let's get a shot from the front one more time though. These lights are still on. Look how cool this thing looks. It really does look great, especially again on a kind of wet, gross day like this where those lights really, really shine through. But a nice looking vehicle from every angle. Let's talk towing capacity. 12,000 pounds is what this thing can tow. That does again fall short of all the American trucks. I believe Ford leads that one. And the payload capacity also falls short of the American trucks. Only 1,940 pounds of a payload capacity, much lower than Ford's 3,250 pounds. Really kind of a lacking payload capacity. That could be because of the coil spring rear suspension, which does offer a smoother ride, but because it does have maybe a different setup, you do suffer in the payload department. But overall, a nicer drive compared to your super heavy duty trucks. And as I mentioned at the top of the video, there are 7 trim levels available for the Tundra for the 2024 model year. If you want the maximum off-road capability, you want the TRD Pro. The TRD Pro starts around $72,000. It looks incredible, and you will have no doubt that this thing is meant to do some serious off-road fun. A note though that there is a TRD off-road package that you can put on some of the different trims. The TRD off-road package and the TRD Pro are not the same thing, so they are different. Just be aware when you're piecing your truck together and building it or looking for it online, they do not equal the same kind of truck. Okay, enough about the outside here. Let's hop inside the engine bay here and check out this beefy, really cool, sexy sounding twin turbo V6. All right, so under the hood here, like I said before, all the trucks use the same V6 engine, the same variation of the twin turbo V6. They're all based on this 3.4 liter V6 engine, and depending on what trim you get means you might get a different engine. The base SR trim comes with a twin turbo V6 pumping out 348 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque. That is just for the base SR truck. And all other trims, all 6 other trims, this engine is tuned for 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Now there is a third option. There is a hybrid setup as well, which I'm not going to talk about much here because I don't have that truck to really test out, but there is a third hybrid V6 setup if you opt for that in your Tundra. Now all of these don't have horrible gas mileage efficiency ratings, considering this truck is absolutely huge. As far as the ratings go for the rear-wheel drive non-hybrid setup, about 20 miles city, 24 miles per gallon highway. If you opt for the four-wheel drive setting, or you turn your four-wheel drive setting on, each of those city and highway ratings only suffer by 1 mile per gallon each, so 1923, which for this huge truck that can tow 12,000 pounds is not all that bad at all. Let's talk about overall speed though. The 389 horsepower engine, 0 to 60, about 6.1 seconds. This is a lot of truck to move around, and this engine sounds so crazy cool. It actually moves this truck rather quickly. So not horrible performance for a truck of this size. And as I said before, there is no V8 option available at all. So if you're a V8 lover because, you know, they just in your mind go with trucks, you're going to be a little bit disappointed because this only has a twin turbo V6 available. It tows, it makes this thing move, but it is not the traditional V8 that so many truck buyers have come to love and sort of expect. So let's start with the door here. Kind of bland in my opinion. It could use some more decoration, more embellishments as far as making it look a little more not so basic. But again, there are 4 trim levels after this that Toyota has to save all those fun, you know, different designs and different upgrades for. All your basic stuff here, your window controls and everything. The handle feels really, really solid and nice in your hands when you grip it here. You do have your memory seats. They're kind of hidden when the door is closed, so be aware this is where your memory seats are if you opt up for the options to have memory seats. Let's do a nice door close here for you. Solid, sounds nice. Toyotas are just amazing cars, so well built. Let's talk about the speakers right there before I forget. So this has the upgraded 12-speaker JBL sound system all around the car. It sounds really, really nice. Lots of thump, lots of bass. The standard speaker system, or audio system rather, is an 8 or 9 speaker system depending on what length cab and what size you get. So kind of a basic sound system to start. On the limited trim and above, this JBL system does come standard. Let's go ahead and turn her on. Right back here is your push to start. And I love, look at those graphics. Look how cool that is. That is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, and new for this year, this is standard on the limited and above trims as well. The base options are analog controls or analog gauges, along with a little bit of digital, but this digital screen is just fantastic. And what also is just as fantastic is this massive center screen here, 14-inch center screen. The base screen on the SR trim is an 8-inch screen, so I definitely think it's worth opting up for this larger screen because it just really, really fills. I mean, look how large it is. It's bigger than my hand. It really fills out this center dash. Very, very easy to understand and you know, operate controls here. Nothing like crazy, non-intuitive. So many car companies now are making things so crazy hard to understand and figure out because it looks cool, or it's almost become a gimmick to make your controls difficult to operate because it looks fun or it's exclusive or I don't know. But no, Toyota is just like, nope, up and down buttons for your temperature, very easy to control your fan speed, your mode that you want, all easily done right here with these kind of piano type buttons sticking out from the center dash underneath this massive screen. You do have a actual physical button or big dial for your volume, for turning on the audio and turning off the audio. It's a big chunky button, easy to grip, love it. Great job by them as well. You do have the heated and ventilated seats here on this particular Tundra. All your other AC options and things all lined up in a row. Obviously, of course, the other passenger has the same options as you. A big USB port there. Down here you do have your wireless charging, which is right in the area where both passenger and driver can reach it. A little cubby hole down in here where I have some of my gear hanging out. Big cup holders where my phone is right now, nice and deep. One is deeper than the other over here on the passenger side. That way, if you've got a larger cup, it'll fit right in there. You do have your different driving modes here as well, towing, haul as well. And whenever you change the tow mode, or the driving mode rather, it does pop up here to make sure you know what you're doing. Sport, normal, eco, not a ton of crazy options here. Pretty standard. If you've been in a car anytime recently, you kind of know what to choose there. And right here, I was talking about this car is not available with a full-time four-wheel drive option. So right here is where you have to put the car into four-wheel drive mode should and when you need it. And more towing options here as well for whenever you got a trailer on the back. Again, 12,000 pound towing capacity, which lags behind Ford, GM, Chevy. Ford leads that pack with about 14,000, the F-150, 14,000 pound capacity. Let's go back to the things I love about this car though. This big chunky steering wheel. It is just brawny, it is beefy, it is easy to grip, it feels super comfortable in your hands. I love the various options as far as openings where you can grip and hold on to the steering wheel in any way you want. 10 and 2, just at 6, I don't know, over here at 7, whatever you want to hold on to, there is an option here in the Tundra for you. This particular one is also heated. It's a heated steering wheel and it feels great right now on this dreary cold day. All your other options, by the way, down here, different things for your parking sensors, your odometer trip, your lighting in the car, automatic on and off, different dome lights for the doors or for the door lights whenever you open and close the doors. Pretty standard stuff all around. Again, this huge digital display I love so much as far as making things clear, making things concise, very easy to understand. Lots of buttons here as well. Over here, all your entertainment buttons with your Bluetooth, with your audio, very easy to understand. Over here, you do got more of your driver assistance things, your following distance here for your automatic cruise control, your lane keep assist, all different things, very easy to comprehend for the average driver, I would say. As far as like materials, everything in here feels nice. There's definitely plastic. I mean, up here, this dash is not soft. It is a big old hunk of plastic for sure, but it actually feels nice. It looks not the greatest in my opinion, but it actually feels okay. It feels sturdy. I haven't felt any creaks or heard any creaks in the little bit of driving I've done so far. Another cubby right there for you with I think a 12-volt outlet, right? Yeah, look at that. But you do have a little cubby hole up here for, you know, maybe a phone, easy pass, something like that. But a really nice high mounted dash. I mean, to compete with this big screen, Toyota really made this dash kind of up and high so you could see a smaller windshield than you would really think maybe for a large truck like this. But I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. These buttons, super easy to use. I mean, look how large the hazard light button is. It's massive. It's huge right there in the center. You can't miss it. Nice job by the Toyota engineers on the dashboard of all of this. And of course, you've got these massive visors up here as well, which do extend, I believe, and whenever you pull them over, yep, to cover the entire window, which for me is always worth a lot. Let's talk about these seats. I'm gonna hop back out so I can get a nicer view here. But these seats, at first appearance to me, I thought they were like snakeskin kind of looking. They are not, but they feel super soft. They are soft to the touch, they are squishy, they are supportive, and they're really nicely done. I really like them quite a bit. The design does go into the back as well there for the 3 rear passengers, and above them you have what? This huge panoramic sunroof, which extends the length of the whole cabin. You do have a sunshade, which is pulled back right now for you. That way I can see better and film better for everyone here on the video. But it's very easy to operate, just up there in the center. All your buttons to control the roof, the glass, the sunshade, all of it right within your fingertips. This right here is the 8-way power adjustable seats as well, passenger and driver. Overall, a nice job by the Toyota folks for these seats. They are squishy, they're comfortable, and I think on a long drive, they would actually be quite nice to be in. Back to the cubby and everything, there are tons of cubbies in this car, from the door over there to the center here to up here, and especially this massive center one. There is a button on each side right here and right here for the passenger or driver to open up this center dash or the center console, I guess. Opens up, it's deep, it's huge, tons of stuff can fit down in here. You've got your USB, USB-C, things to hold right here, little pens, little coins, I'm not sure, whatever you want to put, maybe, you know, just your valuables, whatever, that kind of stuff. I don't think it locks though, so be careful about your valuables. Don't blame it on me if someone takes them. But another easy way to access, just slide this tray right on back, and the tray reveals the center little well there for you to reach whatever you want. But tons of storage right here. You can put all kinds of stuff all over the place. 2 more cup holders right here for your front drivers or your back drivers. Everyone can kind of access it right here. And another thing I love about trucks, big handles everywhere, big chunky, clunky handles all over the place. Every single door has one. There's one there, and there's also one right there, which is really, really great. I love the cockpit of this. I'm not a big truck guy, as I've said many times before. You've seen my shirt I have on right now. It's a Tesla shirt, which means I drive a Tesla, but I like this truck a lot. It's super easy to use, super easy to drive. This center screen, again, tons of options here, very easy to use. It's Google based, so there's really no complaints there with that at all. And there is, of course, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Toyota done a lot of great things right. Let's hop into the back seat to talk about what's back there, and also give you a quick warning on why your rear legroom might be limited if you choose a certain option. In the rear seat here, opting for the shorter cab won't affect your front row comfort really, or your room at all, but it does reduce the rear seat legroom from 41.6 inches to just 33.3 inches. So depending on what cab you get and what options you configure, be prepared to lose or gain some rear legroom. So back here, the same designs as out front, really soft, squishy type of leather here on these seats. They look like, again, like Python design almost a little bit, but it is not. You do have a little center armrest here if you've got 4 passengers instead of 5. 2 cup holders, 2 cup holders, then 2. So 6 cup holders for a total in the car here with only 5 passengers. Lots of drinks available to be had here in the Tundra. And like most trucks, the rear seats here do fold up really easy for under seat storage. To get these to go back down, you can't just push it down. You have to pull this little lever right here, this little strap, and it just pops right down. I was having some trouble at first figuring out how to get it to go back down. If you want the back seats to go down, just yank up on this little strap, and you can reveal, in this case, the JBL subwoofer, along with some minimal rear seat storage. This goes right back up. This does not have a window that opens to the rear bed for some rear wind or anything, but down here you do have, especially on this one, you've got the weather mats built right in. A little bit of a center hump here, nothing too big though. Still tons of leg room for the person who's sitting in the middle. You do have your USB, USB-C, a 3-pronged outlet as well. A little bit of storage right here. Those cup holders, like I mentioned, you've got your vents as well. A nice comfortable back seat for sure. Tons of room. You got that huge panoramic sunroof also to let in all that sunlight. And from back here, not a bad view. Excuse my big old green bottle of Mountain Dew, but a little bit of a higher seat here in the center. So if you are sitting in the center, you will sit a few centimeters higher and you might whack your head. I just did sitting here just now. So be aware if you're taller, the side seats are your better options. But lots of room back here. Like I said, the cab will affect your rear seat leg room. The front does not change, but overall, tons of glass, tons of nice views, more materials, better materials than Toyota put in this truck in previous years. It really is a nice job well done. Doesn't feel cheap, even though there is plastic in here. It doesn't feel like, ugh, it doesn't feel chintzy. It doesn't feel like it's an afterthought. Tons of room back here as well too, for cargo or for people. All right, what do you say we get this thing out on the road and see what she sounds like? All right, here we go. Let's give her a little bit of a punch. Oh. Twin turbo V6 sounds incredible in this thing. You wouldn't expect that kind of sound, I don't think, from a Toyota, but I mean, I will tell you what, that is just a little bit addictive. And it is nearly instant as far as the power coming on. You just hit that accelerator and this thing really takes off. A nice throaty sound from this 3.4 liter V6 engine. One thing I love a lot is, like, as soon as I just came to a stop here and you turn on a turn signal, or you maybe turn the wheel to indicate you're going to be making a turn, the camera system comes on and gives you a full 360 view of what is around you. So that if you're turning close to a trash can or turning to a person who you can't see because this thing is so tall, this camera system really comes in handy because it really gives you a full 360 view of, hey, there might be an obstacle in your way. And it's turned on automatically whenever you come to a stop or turn on your turn signal. A really cool, thoughtful, I think, addition to Toyota's suite of safety features. And while we're on that topic, every single trim comes with Toyota's basic safety suite. It's called 2.5, I believe, Safety Suite 2.5 or something like that. Things like, automatic automatic high beams and pedestrian detection, that sort of stuff, all within this Toyota Tundra here. And of course, you do have other options that you can, layer on the higher up you go in trim levels. But I love the camera system in this huge screen in the center. It is super clear, super detailed. You can see everything and nothing's granulated or pixelated, anything like that. A really nice job. And I do have the blind spot monitoring available on this limited edition right here, this trim level. These mirrors are big to begin with, but you can always use extra help when you're navigating and maneuvering a big beast like this. So the blind spot monitoring has been great. I don't really notice any blind spots per se just yet, but I could imagine that if you've got people behind you in this seat, maybe some cargo, it might be pretty easy to have a blind spot be produced, or maybe one created with what you are driving with. And because we're on larger wheels in general and more chunky tires, there is a little bit of, I feel like, road noise that maybe you wouldn't have in a more car-like truck, a Maverick or a Frontier like I mentioned earlier. But I don't mind it at all, because you kind of expect a big truck like this to drive a little more rough. But it's not rough at all. I'm just comparing it to something that is more car-like. Really enjoy the height of this. Again, the car is quiet overall. Really nice padded doors. Everything is well put together. Toyota's, of course, known for their dependability, their reliability, their quality. Their resale value is just insane. Want to get on the highway here and do some highway driving for sound, for speed, overall comfort and feel. Let's do some merging here. Ready? Let's hit it. Oh. Woo! Bye, everyone. Oh, that feels great. Pushes you back in your seat. That great growl out of this twin-turbo V6 engine really just takes off. Just incredible torque, too. I'm at about 65 miles an hour right now, and I can't hear wind noise really at all. Definitely a little bit of a floaty kind of feel whenever you go over a bump. Again, those rear coil suspension making for a smoother, more refined, more comfortable ride. And I think too, whenever you're in a big car like this, people give you a little bit more of a berth, I guess. They give you more room to kind of get around them, and maybe, we'll back off. You go ahead, big truck. Especially with this night package, this Nightshade package, all this blacked out stuff. It really has an aggressive kind of look out on the road, and I kind of love it. Woo! And the 4-wheel disc brakes bring this thing to a stop rather quickly. A little bit of a dive, especially whenever you hit them kind of hard at highway speeds, but they grip quick, they grip smoothly. And I didn't mention this before, but each one of these engines, no matter what tuning you get, are all mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And it is smooth, it is quick, it is comfortable, there's no big jerkiness. Whenever you mash that accelerator out on the highway to merge or whatever, it really shifts quite nicely. One thing I want to mention before I forget to mention it is that Toyota actually kind of sets itself apart from the competitors in one way with its warranty benefit kind of options, and that is that they have 2-year, 25,000 mile complimentary standard maintenance. The other guys don't offer that. So 2 years, 25,000 miles of oil changes and things, that's adds up to a few $100 after all is said and done after 24 months. Well, that is it for this review of this 2024 Toyota Tundra. I thank you so much for watching. If you're someone looking for a car that's more refined and has maybe not as much power but has more reliability and quality build, maybe this Tundra is for you. If you want more payload capacity, more towing capacity, well then maybe those options from Detroit are more suited for what you are looking for. Let me know in the comments below what one of these Tundras you're looking at, which ones you've test driven, which one do you have, and why do you like it or why do you not like it. Be sure you are subscribed to the channel below. Give us a big thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and as always, follow us over on Instagram as well at Overdrive Reviews. That is it for now. We'll see you on the next one.